Did Caitlin Clark's recent performance really deserve the harsh criticism it received? Jason Whitlock certainly thought so, but the story doesn't end there. Let's break down what happened and why it matters for women's basketball. In a recent game against the Minnesota Lynx, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever suffered a 90-80 loss. Clark's performance was marked by 7 turnovers, a statistic that caught the attention of critics. Among them was Jason Whitlock, who didn't hold back in his assessment. He called out Clark's play as sloppy, suggesting it was hurting her team's chances of success. But is this criticism fair? And, more importantly, what does it mean for Clark's career and women's basketball as a whole? The answers aren't as simple as they might seem at first glance. As we dig deeper into this story, we'll uncover how a single player's performance can spark debates that reach far beyond the court, potentially shaping the future of an entire sport. The criticism of Clark's play style reveals a fascinating divide in the world of women's basketball. On one side, calls for perfection. On the other, a celebration of game-changing impact. But which perspective truly captures the essence of Clark's influence on the sport? Jason Whitlock's critique of Caitlin Clark's performance was blunt and unforgiving. He took to social media declaring, "They gotta quit making excuses for Caitlin Clark's turnovers. It's sloppy and hurting her team." Whitlock's words cut deep, focusing on a specific aspect of Clark's game that he deemed problematic. However, this criticism didn't go unchallenged. Colin Cowherd, another prominent sports commentator, offered a different perspective. He advised, "Turn the telescope, you're staring at the wrong stuff. The turnovers don't bother me." Cowherd's defense suggests that Clark's overall impact on the game transcends individual statistics. This debate highlights a broader discussion about the standards applied to female athletes in the WNBA. Some argue that Clark's aggressive style of play, which naturally leads itself to higher turnover rates, is similar to that of male basketball stars like LeBron James. Yet, these male players often escape the level of scrutiny Clark faces for similar statistics. Clark's supporters contend that her ability to generate assists and her scoring potential far outweigh concerns about turnovers. They see her as a transformative player for the WNBA, capable of elevating the entire sport. This perspective shifts the focus from isolated game statistics to Clark's overall influence on women's basketball. The controversy surrounding Clark's performance raises important questions about how we evaluate female athletes. Are the metrics used to judge their play fair and consistent, or do they reflect underlying biases in how we perceive women's sports? While critics like Whitlock focus on efficiency and minimizing errors, many fans and analysts argue that Clark's impact extends far beyond the box score. Her style of play, charisma, and ability to attract viewership are reshaping the landscape of women's basketball. This debate also underscores the intense scrutiny faced by rising stars in women's sports. As Clark continues to make headlines and draw attention to the WNBA, every aspect of her game is placed under a microscope. This level of analysis, while potentially harsh, also indicates the growing prominence of women's basketball in the broader sports conversation. While critics dissect her stats, Clark's influence is quietly reshaping the WNBA. Could a single rookie be responsible for skyrocketing viewership, unprecedented media deals, and a new era of growth for women's basketball? The numbers tell a compelling story. Clark's impact on viewership is undeniable. A recent game between the Indiana Fever and Seattle Storm drew an astounding 2.3 million viewers. This isn't just a slight uptick, it's a seismic shift, representing a 263% increase over the next highest non-Fever game. Such a dramatic surge in audience engagement is rare in any sport, let alone one that has historically struggled for mainstream attention. But Clark's influence extends far beyond mere numbers. Her playing style has captivated audiences and brought new fans to women's basketball. With her ability to sink logo threes and deliver no-look passes, Clark has become a highlight reel in motion. This exciting brand of basketball is attracting viewers who may have previously overlooked the WNBA, creating a new generation of fans and supporters. The Caitlin Clark effect is more than just a catchy phrase. It's a tangible force driving growth across the WNBA. Revenue is up, sales tickets are soaring, and attendance is on the rise. The influx of interest and capital has led to concrete improvements for the league, including the introduction of private chartered flights for teams, a long-sought goal that's finally become a reality. Perhaps most significantly, Clark's popularity has caught the attention of major corporations and media outlets. The WNBA recently secured a substantial $2 million media deal with the NBA, a clear indication of the league's growing value and marketability. This increased visibility is opening doors for other players and teams, creating a rising tide that lifts all boats in women's basketball. The ripple effects of Clark's popularity are being felt throughout the entire women's basketball ecosystem. From increased media coverage to new sponsorship opportunities, her presence is elevating the sport's profile on multiple fronts. Youth leagues are seeing renewed interest, college programs are gaining more attention, and the wnba is experiencing a surge in relevance that could reshape its future. As Clark's influence grows, an unexpected twist emerges. Could the very criticism aimed at her flaws be the secret ingredient fueling women's basketball's explosive growth? The answer may surprise even her staunchest defenders. The controversy surrounding Caitlin Clark's performance has ignited a firestorm of debate, but it's also sparked by something far more significant: a surge in engagement with women's basketball. While critics focus on her turnovers, the resulting conversations are drawing unprecedented attention to the sport. The power of social media and online discussions cannot be overstated in this context. Every critique, every defense, and every highlight shared online contributes to a growing buzz around Clark and, by extension, women's basketball as a whole. These digital conversations are amplifying both criticism and support, creating a dynamic environment that keeps fans engaged and attracts new viewers. Interestingly, the focus on Clark's perceived flaws may be just as valuable as the celebration of her strengths. Every discussion about her turnovers is also an opportunity to highlight her impressive assists, her scoring ability, and her overall impact on the game. This balanced coverage provides a more nuanced view of women's basketball, appealing to both casual fans and serious analysts. The controversy also underscores the growing prominence of women's basketball in the broader sports conversation. As Clark continues to make headlines, every aspect of her game is placed under a microscope. This level of analysis, while potentially harsh, indicates that women's basketball is being taken seriously as a professional sport worthy of in-depth discussion and debate. Moreover, the attention on Clark is opening doors for other players and teams. As viewers tune in to watch Clark, they're exposed to the talent and excitement present throughout the WNBA. This increased exposure is creating new fans and supporters for the league as a whole, not just for one star player. The Caitlin Clark effect extends beyond viewership numbers. It's driving tangible improvements in the league, from increased revenue to better conditions for players. The recent introduction of private chartered flights for WNBA teams is just one example of how this surge in interest is translating into concrete benefits for the sport. As we look to the future of women's basketball, it's clear that players like Caitlin Clark are more than just athletes. They're catalysts for change. While critics may focus on individual game statistics, Clark's impact extends far beyond the box score. Her ability to connect with the public and elevate the entire sport is transforming women's basketball. The growth we're witnessing isn't just about Clark, though. It's about the potential for women's basketball to captivate audiences, secure lucrative deals, and inspire a new generation of players and fans. As the WNBA continues to evolve, it's crucial to recognize how individual talents can shape the trajectory of an entire sport. The future of women's basketball is bright, driven by players who challenge norms and push boundaries. As fans and observers, our role is to appreciate not just the game-by-game performance, but the broader impact these athletes have on the sport's growth and popularity. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications to ensure you get all the latest updates. Thanks for watching.